my name is Akemi Kozu Tosto. I'm an executive producer and the director and writer of the movie When I Was a Human. And our company is a single purpose LLC. So we formed this company solely to produce and distribute When I Was a Human. And my associate producer there is Jorge Agraz. And take it away, George.
Hello. And I guess, our movie is about an ex-shelter dog who embarks on a hilarious, heartwarming quest to win back the love of his owner. And the story touches on, universal themes. It's about being true to oneself, and that love really transcends all boundaries. Indy, our protagonist, begins this journey trying to reclaim the love of his owner, who he thought he lost. But through his adventures and his experiences, he really comes to understand that family loves you for who you are, and that you don't have to try to be anyone or anything else other than yourself.
That sounds fantastic. So I just have to ask, is one of you actually a dog that's been turned into a human being to make a movie about this?
Yes.
I feel like it.
I feel like I've seen it. Well, George, this is actually based on my first dog that I adopted. Like, I'd never been allowed to have a dog when I was growing up in Japan because both of my parents worked. But I adopted a dog and I named him Indy. And to make a long story short, he developed the anxiety syndrome because I was busy working. So that made me think, because I was a latchkey kid, so I was always lonely at home. So when my dog Indy developed abandonment issue, he started to destroy things, and I didn't know why he was doing that, but it turned out to be that I was too busy and he was lonely. So that kind of gave me an idea for this story When I Was a Human. George knows Indy. He knows how crazy he was. But that was out of his loneliness. So yeah, I figure that kind of feeling, a lot of people in any culture or anywhere in the world can relate to. And I think it shows from the success of my short film. So that's a good proof of concept.
That's fantastic. I love any story with a dog, and when you have a story that's all about the dog, it's even better. And I will probably be that person watching it on an airplane and sobbing hysterically, and everybody around me.
That'd be great.
So this is an investor panel. I could talk creative all day, but because this is WeFunder and you're raising funds with the public, we'd love to know a little bit more about the budget and a potential investor's return on investment opportunity.
Yes, I'll talk about budget, and George can take away after that. But we have budgeted this film for $850,000 approximately. And we estimated the production expenses based on our own experience. We've been in this industry for almost 20 something years. I don't even think about it, but so we produced and managed lots and lots of films, television show, low budget film, music video. So we based our experience and of course how many days, approximately how many staff members. That's where this 850K came out. Of course, if we could raise more, that would be great. But at this point, it's 850K.
And are you raising all of that on WeFunder? Is that the plan, or are there other sources of financing that you have?
George?
We're obviously, we'd like to raise as much as we can on WeFunder. We have certain milestones that if we can hit them, then other doors will start to open for us. The first thing that we're trying to do is attach key talent. So, at a certain point, then we can start to go after, actors that people have heard of, dogs that people have heard of. And then at that point, then we can bring in, some financing partners. There's several people that we've talked to over the last year or two that are very interested in working with us if we can, kind of fill in a couple of the holes. So obviously it'd be great if we can get investors excited about it and do most of the raise on WeFunder. But there are other ways that we can kind of use WeFunder to open the door for us to get the movie made.
Fantastic. Well, and so, okay, so the budget is 850K. Let's talk about the other side. As an investor, what is my participation in the film? And, are there people that get, or people or expenses or fees that get paid off before me? Like, how would you set my expectations in that regard?
The investors first out. So the first 135%, that is for the early bird. They're gonna get like that amount recouped. Then we're gonna get paid. Then we're gonna go into net profit, and that will be split 50-50. After 50,000, that's early bird. But after that, it's like 125% for the investor. Then the rest is like 50-50.
Okay, and is that, are there any fees or other investors or things that get taken out prior to the investors getting paid out, or is it literally the first dollar from the distributor goes to the investors?
It's of course the bank loan and the debt and the other actors or participants who are going to come in maybe a little later has like a different contract. We may have to take care of that. But at this point, there's nobody who has priority. So like if all goes well, all the investors get like 125% first, then we get paid. And then the rest is 50-50, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about, from the equity crowdfunding side, there are ways to get the audience involved and excited about the film. Do you have any perks that are attached to people's level of investment?
Yes, it's a really fun perk. The first several hundred, they're gonna get like a behind the scene exclusive. We're gonna have some people with videos shooting us making a film and making goofy things. So they get to see the peak of that. And if the perk goes up, of course, like when you contribute more, but there are some perks where you get invitation to lunch on the set with other staff and hopefully actors if they are available. That's fun because like I used to work on the set and lunch was a really fun time. And like, everybody's personality comes out. So I figure like, people who invest in films like this, I think they're like movie fans, just like Legion M's fans. So I figured like they would enjoy something like that. And of course, like, exclusive invite to parties, red carpet, and they get like a VIP section in the theater to watch screening, and probably no cash bar for the VIP. So yeah, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think I'm a movie fan, so I put the perks what I would like to get.
That's great. Well, so we probably have time for one last question. And I would just love to know what your distribution plan is. And particularly, as people that have worked in the industry, what experience you guys have had with those sorts of distribution before.
Josh?
So for this project, we've decided to go with a kind of a two-pronged strategy. For domestic in the United States, it's more of a hybrid model. We're going to do screenings in select cities to kind of generate interest for the movie, but mostly we're looking at VOD and SVOD, largely because we're seeing a lot of people just watching more stuff at home, especially during the pandemic. I don't know about you guys, but I've had my TV on 24/7 while I'm working. So it just kind of the way that the audience seems to be trending in this country, but in other countries, specifically China is one that I can think of. They're actually, theaters are becoming a big thing there. So in foreign territories, we're going to pursue a more traditional model, trying to get in-country and theater distribution before we do VOD and home video.
I think we have a very strong, our strength is like sort of like a multicultural production team, especially me and George. We speak like a few different languages, and I'm originally from Japan. So I have like a really strong connection in Japan. And I made a very good connection in China, and that's where the money is. So I'm hoping these people are quite interested. They love dog movies. So, we're going to secure everything just like we would without, thinking about Chinese connection. We're going to get hybrid going domestically and overseas. We're going to like utilize our network to death and get that distributed overseas. That's where a lot of revenues are coming through. So that's what we're going after.
That's great. Well, I think we're out of time. You guys are fantastic. It's a really interesting idea for our project, and we're glad you're raising funds with the crowd, and very much wish you the best of luck.
Yeah,
I
agree. I can't wait to see your movie.
It's definitely a movie that we haven't seen in a while. It's a movie that, with all the superhero movies and everything else, it's a very unique concept. And, we think that people are gonna, it's gonna be something really interesting for people to enjoy.
Awesome.
Legion M can have the first look.
Awesome.
Perfect. That's a contract right here.
Sell. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.